Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I want to thank Mr. Kendall, Dr. Walker, and Mr. Schaefer for coming today. And I'd also like to echo the comments of the chairman about Mr. Schaefer's service to our country and congratulate him on his new position. Once you are settled in, we're going to come over and visit, of course, and talk about your perspective on NATO and science for a long time to come. As I stated last year, I'm concerned with the state of our federal investment in research and development. I'd ask my colleagues and those in the audience to take a look at this chart. In the 1960s, the chart starts in 1976, but in the 1960s, the United States invested 17% of the discretionary budget on research and development. We were putting a man on the moon and doing a lot of things in that era. That number is down to 9%. 9% of our discretionary budget on R&D. Between 1960 and 1980, federal R&D spending as a share of GDP averaged 1.52% per year. However, now it averages 0.8% per year. This is a steady decline, has led to a cumulative $1.5 trillion research investment deficit. And the second chart will show you how we compare to other nations. While we're declining in our investment in research, many other nations are surging ahead. Our nearest competitor, China, has increased funding in R&D and is on track to surpass the United States in research and development in a little over 5 years. Well, I decided to introduce a couple bills to address these deficits directly. The American Cures Act, the American Innovation Act. The Cures Act would increase medical research for NIH, CDC, DOD, and Department of Veterans Affairs at the rate of GDP inflation plus 5%. When I went to speak to Dr. Francis Collins at NIH, he said, give us 5% real growth for 10 straight years, and we can make a difference in the lives of people around the world and save more than the money that you'll put into medical research. I see my friend Senator Moran here from Kansas. He has always been an outspoken supporter of NIH research. The American Innovation Act complements this and would set science and technology funding at the rate of GDP indexed inflation plus 5% for the Department of Energy, the National Science Foundation, NASA, and NIST. Last year, with the support of my colleagues on this subcommittee, we successfully increased basic research across DOD and the services by $260 million and added $1.26 billion for DOD medical research. I tried to demonstrate in this subcommittee that we could do 5% real growth as a challenge to the other agencies. This is a great effort, but the challenge continues. Other nations are catching us. Some are determined to pass us. If we live in the world of budget caps, we will find ourselves mired in a mess. What former Speaker Newt Gingrich said in the Washington Post this morning is the reality. The cost that we're going to incur for health care alone is going to far surpass the cost of research, which might avoid some of these terrible outcomes. I'm looking forward to hearing from the panel here on our technology deficits. You have a lot of successes to point to. DARPA's investments in cybersecurity highlighted on 60 Minutes, DOD's investment in nanosatellites, and investments undertaken by DOD's Strategic Capabilities Office. Even though we don't have a packed room here, I think this is one of the most important aspects of this appropriation, and I thank you for being here.